I had a friend, Nick Rockefeller, okay, who was one of the Rockefeller family, and he, when I was running for governor in Nevada, he came to me, introduced himself to me through an attorney, and we became friends. We started talking about things, and I learned an awful lot from Mr. Rockefeller. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. And the goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all over Italy, all over the world, they all work together. They're all central banks, and they're all part of the Communist Manifesto. You know, central banking is one of the major planks of the Communist Manifesto. We talk about America being a capitalistic country, but yet at the same time we have a central bank that plans everything for us, right? And the graduated income tax is another plank of the Communist Manifesto, right? So right there you have two major planks of the Communist Manifesto that have been brought in because of the Federal Reserve System, okay? So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them.
We're implanting microchips into their hand. What this chip actually does is it's read by an RFID reader that is on any vending devices, any credit card readers, any door access codes.
I was hesitant, what am I implanting into my body? And my kids were kind of the ones that got me excited.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't bad.
I'm not going to do it. My reasoning for that is all about what health effects this might have in the long term.
Yeah. Let me see. Going to do that. All right, and then we're good.
In the future, we'll be able to use it as a passport. You can use it in public transportation as a form of payment. I see it being the future, and we plan on being a big part of it.
A lot of us can't leave home without our smartphones or tablets, but would you implant that type of technology under your skin? One Vancouver man did, saying it's a growing trend for people wanting to advance their body and mind.
You can scan it, then up pops my contact details. It's that virtual transferable business card.
I still think, you know, we may have chips in ourselves, you know, in the future, but it's just crazy to see how far technology has come, and I'm really happy.
Well, Big Brother will now be taught at a school near you. Across the country, schools are finding ways to track and monitor students inside and outside the classroom. The techniques range from chips embedded in school ID cards to GPS systems installed in computers, tracking students' every move, to actual surveillance cameras. And it's happening in Texas.
In the case of Texas, we have a school district there where two schools so far this year have forced the students to wear these badges that have the cards inside of them, and they're using it as means of tracking the students so that they can try to cut down on the rampant truancy that's happening right there. Because in a lot of school districts, if you're not having kids showing up, the states aren't going to pay for the schools. The states are going to stop funding them. And this, I believe it's North Side District in Texas, includes San Antonio, I believe. They believe that these two schools right there, they're losing upwards of $175,000 a day in funding because students just aren't showing up to the class and the teachers can't keep track of them. So they figured, okay, well, if we know where the students are at all times, you know, they're going to be held accountable. We'll know if they're in the class. We'll make sure we will have as accurate numbers as we possibly can, and we'll be able to get that funding. We'll be able to know where everyone is. And it's great if you want to make sure that you're sending your child to a school where you're going to get the best education that the state's going to be able to afford. But at the same time, yes, instantly we're seeing all these privacy concerns just start mounting up. And they're being addressed in Texas, but unfortunately not necessarily in the best way. We have a case just recently where one student, she rejected this idea. She said, I'll carry a badge on me. You can have my name, you can have my photo, but I don't want to be tracked around the school, because you can, from anywhere up to like 100 feet away, they can just buzz you in on a radio and they can find out like within a couple of inches where you are in the building. And it's just, it kind of just gives people the heebie-jeebies.
Understand. So students do not have a choice. This is mandated.
We're seeing that students and parents are starting to revolt slowly but surely, but so far the school district isn't really that concerned about their complaints. We have one case of a girl who said that it would violate her religious beliefs to be tracked consistently throughout the day. It would also obviously
religious beliefs.
Yes.
I mean, I understand privacy concerns and maybe constitutional concerns, but religious concerns.
The mark of the beast, to have this unknowing eye on her at all times. She said, my religion doesn't stand for it, and I don't want to have it. And the school said, okay, this is what we're going to do. You can go ahead and you can have your regular old ID badge. But we're going to start implementing this all the way through, and there are going to be repercussions. And some students are already seeing that. If they don't have their RFID chips, they're being told that they can't check out library books. They can't pay for their lunches in the cafeteria. They can't go into certain classrooms.
All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is giving me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what you sell.
Everything is in there, And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips, and they control people. And you become a slave. You become a serf to these people.